My name is Sean Tracy, also known as Stellar Sean. I'm a 16-year-old filmmaker. There's something incredibly fulfilling about that process.
30 minutes about his advice on life, his philosophy towards life, and that's just absolutely beautiful.
My name is Sean Tracy, also known as Stellar Sean. I'm a 16-year-old filmmaker from Wicklow in Ireland, and yeah, I make YouTube videos. I do a little bit of work on Instagram, a bit of presenting here and there, but the main passion for me right now is just writing and directing my own films that can hopefully contribute to making the world a better place that we live in. So I first got into filmmaking when I was around 7 or 8, so I was doing a lot of acting at the time, and I got my first role in a TV commercial for Tesco, and I tell this story to everyone, but essentially I walked onto the set, I was just gobsmacked by the atmosphere, the excitement, the equipment, the crew. All of it just got me really excited, and I said, right, I'd like to look into the behind the scenes aspect of filmmaking a little bit more. And over the years, throughout the years, I just watched way more YouTube videos about it, messed with my dad's cameras as much as I possibly could, and, you know, made videos on my iPod Touch, filmed and edited them on iMovie, just, you know, creating as often as I could. And then I suppose things really started getting quite serious in 2016. During the summer, I made a YouTube channel, and that's kept me creating on a very consistent basis. But also that year I made my first official short film for the Fresh Film Festival, wearing the hat right now. And yeah, I suppose since then I've been really just making short films, documentaries as often as possible.
Winner of Ireland's Young Filmmaker of the Year 2019. The winning film is Through by
Thankfully about topics that I really care about personally, and I've also been making YouTube videos about whatever comes to my mind on a regular basis. First short film experience, well, I say I made my first official short film in 2016, but I suppose I did make a load of different weird edits before that. I remember making one short film with my friend Isaac called Vito, and I suppose my first short film experience, which would have been that one, it was really just gathering everything I possibly could have, you know, having a friend over for the day and just having a vague idea of the story I wanted to tell in my head, and just using any piece of equipment and any script idea or line or piece of dialogue that I thought would work for me personally. And that's a really organic, experimental way to approach filmmaking, but that has definitely changed over the years. I've planned a lot more. I'm definitely taking the production side with dates and cameras and people I'm shooting with into way more detail now. My first short film experience was all about experimenting. So I've been into filmmaking for about 8 years. I've been taking it quite seriously for 4 of those years now. So since the age of 11 or 12. It's been quite a while, but it's been a hell of a ride. For me, what I enjoy the most about filmmaking is being in that furnace of the moment, as John Borman would put it in his book Conclusions. When you're in that just seriously intense moment of crazy production where not everything is going right, but not everything is going wrong, and somehow you're building a scene with many different actors, many different voices, and you're getting all of these different creative ideas from all the people who are collaborating with you on this massive project. When you're in that, as I call it, the furnace of the moment, there's something incredibly fulfilling about that process. You're in pure flow, and there's really no feeling like it. For me, that is pure happiness when we're just collaborating and creating on a project we all care about, putting something amazing together. That's what I love most about filmmaking. What it's like to create in Dublin is honestly quite nice, because it feels like something quite exclusive. You know, you do stand out from the crowd if you create in this environment. I think you stand out from the crowd if you create in any big urban city in the world, because it's all very corporate focused and stuff like that. There's very few people who are focused on the artistic side of things. So for me, it's kind of cool to feel like you stand out, like you're doing something different. And I don't know if that's based on ego or whatever, but that's really the truth about how I feel about creating in Dublin City. But it also, the cool thing about when there's few people creating is that you really connect with them. You know, you spot them a lot easier when they're very identifiable from the general crowd. Some of the best friends in my life are the ones I create with on a regular basis, and I probably wouldn't have met them if everyone was a creator, because, you know, I wouldn't know where to start, I wouldn't know where to choose. For me, the pandemic really inspired me, first of all, to make a lot of steps in my career that I've been wanting to make for ages. Undertaking of writing a feature film script, but I suppose what it also enabled me to do was really experiment with my online content creation. I've been creating constantly since 2016 on YouTube and on Instagram, just really creating what first comes to mind without ever putting much thought into it and feeling a huge pressure there. But I suppose with the pandemic, it really just had me at home going, what's coming to mind? What would I like to create here? And I just created the first thing that came to my head. And now I like really want to streamline what I create online. But having that experience just made me kind of, yeah, get to experiment with creativity, which was really nice. My inspirations for creating has changed like so much over the past couple of years. It started off really with Casey Neistat, but before that I was just watching episodes of Doctor Who that really got me inspired. And now I suppose there's two different sides to it. My inspiration in the online form of creation would have to be Nathaniel Drew. That man creates very meaningful, thoughtful content that is focused on making the world that we live in a better place, but he does so in a way that also encourages success. You know, he hasn't got a dead YouTube channel, but he's talking about important subjects. So he's my inspiration on the online sort of side of filmmaking. But then in terms of the really, like, you know, the filmmaking cinema side of stuff, Christopher Nolan has always been where it's at for me. How he managed to balance like incredibly exciting action storytelling with really meaningful moments and stories that just honestly come together and combine to create a project, a final product that just blows your mind. The way that man does that is just so inspiring. So for me, the things I get most excited by in my life would have to be memories, so personal life experiences. Music is a huge source of inspiration for me, and also, you know, just art in general. And when I say art, I primarily mean cinema and books. Life experiences, they're the actual things in life that really spark an excitement about creativity within me. I see myself, hopefully anyways, creating with people who I personally connect with, who I personally want to create with and find great enjoyment in creating with. I'd love to see myself there, and I'd also love to see myself with kind of the financial and moral freedom of being able to travel anywhere in the world and create, you know, wherever I want in a way. Follow what you care about. Like, just create what you care about. If you don't create anything for the sake of what's going to be popular, what people are going to find you cool to create, you know, just create what really comes to the heart.
Nature is very simple. Those animals like you or they dislike you. There's no middle ground. You know what the last conversation I had was with them? Saw the jacket I had on?
Yeah.
I unzipped it. That's it. They're gone.
30 minutes about his advice on life, his philosophy towards life, and that's just absolutely beautiful.